All right, thank you everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Big Ten Football Championship Game Players Teleconference. As a reminder, this call is being recorded today on Monday, November 29th, 2021. I'd like to thank all the media for joining us for today's call, which will feature 10 minutes each with 3 players from each of the participating teams in the Big Ten Football Championship Game. I would ask that you interact with all players throughout the entire call. Individuals wishing to ask a question should raise their hand in the chat window of their screen, and we will call on you and temporarily provide you with an open microphone to ask your question. As a reminder, audio from this webinar will be available on the Big Ten website later this week. First on the teleconference is Michigan graduate student Andrew Vastardis. Andrew, thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to give us some opening comments, then we'll go ahead and tee it up for questions.
Nothing really, just thanks for having me. Excited for it.
All right, thank you, Andrew. We'll go ahead and take questions now. As a reminder, to ask a question, raise your hand in the chat window and we will call on you. One moment while we let the questions come in. And we'll take our first question from Angelique Chingalis.
Andrew, when you look at the film from Saturday's game and you evaluate the performance of the offensive line, what first comes to your mind, and how do you evaluate what your line did Saturday?
Yeah, after watching the film, very proud of our guys. All the work we put in during the week, during the whole year, even, focusing on that game, really came to fruition and just really showed out on Saturday. We executed very well. Still some things to fix, always critiquing ourselves in a way to try to get better, but couldn't be happier with how we executed, and that goes across the whole team, not just the line.
Thank you. Our next question is from Larry Lage. Larry, your line is open.
Yep. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you at all reflect on how far this team has come versus the outside expectations of this team in August?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were a lot of noise outside, but I mean, on the inside, we trusted each other. We trusted the coaches, top down, just really stayed together and just tried to get as good as we can. And we've continued to do that the whole year. So, the goals are still out in front of us. We're have a tremendous opportunity this weekend, and the goal for us right now is just keep preparing the same way we have been, with the utmost intensity and attention to detail. And that's just got to continue for the rest of this season, and hopefully as a legacy for all future Michigan teams. It's been a great bond, and great practices, great everything this year, and just that kind of speaks to our goals versus kind of like the outside talk and how we just wanted to go about executing that.
Our next question comes from Chad Leistikow.
Hey, Andrew, thanks a lot. Can you just kind of walk me through sort of the process of, I guess, coming down from such a euphoric win on Saturday, and what did you guys talk about in terms of kind of, focusing on this game ahead?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of our mantra is you get 24 hours to celebrate. And it was a fun 24 hours, but now we have a really good team ahead of us, really good defense. And just it's another great opportunity to go out there and try to accomplish something hasn't done in a while. And I think top down, and I'll speak from a player's perspective, just guys are locked in, they're dialed in, and they're eager to start working again. They're eager to get back to work. And I know that's really big for me, and it's really nice to see the mindset and the maturity of this team is showing through that.
Next question comes from Sean Windsor.
Yes, Andrew, can you speak a little bit to Cade Mcnamara's presence in the huddle and in the locker room, his personality, but kind of what kind of leader he is, even maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Cade's grown as tremendously as a leader this year. I mean, his preparation has always been one of his hallmarks. Just his film study, his practice, his attention to detail, and everything has always been high. And just from that has stemmed his confidence in speaking to the team and being a leader, and him vocalizing that leadership has been a tremendous asset. And the growth of his leadership, and not only that, the bond and the leadership on this team has stemmed, has really responded to his voice too.
Our next question comes from Michael Cohen.
Hey, Andrew. I know that in addition to the offensive line, the receivers have played a big part in the blocking game this season when it comes to running the football. In terms of Mike Sanders still, can you sort of describe what he brings to the team, whether it's digging out a linebacker or a safety or finding a way to come up with a big catch? And I know he's on the leadership council as well.
Yeah, I mean, as an offense as a whole and as a team as a whole, it's really whatever's called, whatever's asked of you, just do it to the best of your ability and just win your one-on-one matchup. And no one tries to do their job and tries to win their matchup with technique and, attention to detail and attitude more than Mikey. He, no matter what's asked of him, that guy's going to get after it. And he's a heck of a player, and he's a heck of a competitor, and he's a really good voice, a really good asset to this team, and a great leader and good friend.
We'll go to Lane Higgins for our next question. Then we'll have time for one more for Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. You spoke a little bit earlier about Cade, and I understand that he's, the primary guy for this team. But given that the team has been rotating at quarterback and giving a chance to give JJ some snaps, I was wondering if you could kind of talk about what sort of impact he has on the offense when he does come in for those read option plays, and what it's been like just observing the egos of two quarterbacks that are clearly both very talented.
Really not many egos, both confident guys, but not really much ego going on. But talk about a guy mature beyond his years. That's JJ, and he's a great asset to this team. He's going to be a great leader. Already shows great leadership qualities, and just those two playing off each other, feeding off each other's energy, learning from each other. It's fun to watch, and it kind of exemplifies what we try to do here, and just making each other better, iron sharpening iron.
And we'll go to Rainer Saban for our last question for Andrew.
Andrew, I know you get earlier this year, you talked about applying to medical school and going through that. Have you thought about a future NFL career? I mean, with the way that you played this season and everything that's gone on?
Honestly, I've just been focusing on this season. We're on one heck of a ride and living the moment. Just trying to play my best for the guys around me, and it's working out so far. So this ride's not done yet, so we're just going to keep focusing on this right now.
Well, Andrew, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
And up next will be Michigan graduate student and linebacker Josh Ross as they make the change there. Good afternoon, Josh, and thank you for joining us. If you could give us some quick comments, then we'll go ahead and take some questions for you.
Quick comments, this weekend was a movie in every which way it could be. The way we executed offensively, defensively, special teams, it was a great game. And now, we on an even bigger stage this week, going against Iowa. Everything's in front of us, and we just ready to attack the week with our preparation and have a good game this weekend.
Thank you, Josh. We'll go ahead and take questions now, and we will start with Chad Leistokow.
Hi, Josh. Thanks a lot. When you look at Iowa, are you preparing for two quarterbacks? They have a little bit different styles, and anyone else on offense stand out to you as you study them?
Yeah, Iowa's offense, they got a pretty good offense. They want to establish the run, and our job is to stop the run as in the trenches as a linebacker. That's what we're going to do, and we're just looking forward to, get this week going with preparation and get ready for this weekend.
We'll go to Larry Lage for our next question. Larry, your line's open.
Josh, last Monday, you looked like you were ready to play on that afternoon. How do you match the intensity and focus and preparation for Iowa that you guys had for Ohio State?
We haven't won a Big Ten championship since 2004. This is huge for our program. It's just huge for our team. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's ride. You know, it ain't really nothing too much more to be said. It's a great opportunity in front of us, and we're ready to go get it.
And our next question comes from Aaron Mcmahon.
Hey, Josh, we've heard a lot about Mike Macdonald this year and just the energy he's brought, but I'm wondering from a schematic standpoint, how much of a difference you guys have noticed, just how different you feel better equipped to handle like a team like Ohio State or, you know, a big time offense.
Oh yeah, you know, Coach Mike Macdonald, he's a great coach, and I love him, and I'm so thankful and grateful that he's my coach and he's a part of this team. Just from a week-to-week basis, we do a great job game planning. Our coaches do a great job working together, and our players do a great job preparing as well. And it's gotten us to this point. So we're just looking to keep pushing forward, have a great week of preparation, and go get it this weekend because preparation is all what it's about.
Next question will come from Tom Van Haren.
Hey, Josh, you've been a leader on defense for a while now. You've been alongside Aiden, and I was curious from your perspective what it's really meant to this team to get Aiden back this year, both on the field and in a leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden has a tremendous effect, not only as a friend, not only as a teammate, but just as a player, a part of this team. I mean, he's such a great player. He plays with such great effort, and he's such a great leader, and he's such an influential person to be around in a positive way. Aiden's a great person, and I'm just thankful and blessed to call him a friend and for him to be a part of this team, you know.
We'll go to Michael Cohen for our next question.
Hey, Josh, we've seen teams struggle to tackle Hassan all season long, and we've also asked you guys a lot about the Beat Ohio drill. So when you guys went at it, how difficult is it to tackle that guy, and did anyone on defense have luck?
I mean, you know, I'll tell you this, man. Yeah, we go get it every single day, and iron sharpens iron. And Hassan is such a strong physical back with great balance. It's hard to tackle him. It's hard to bring him down. You got to run your feet. You got to run your arms. You got to bring your arms with your feet. He's a great, strong back. And, you know, I'm just so proud of what the player he's became and what he is to this team and university. And he's going to continue to run physical, continue to break tackles, and keep doing his thing.
Our next question is from Isaiah Hole. Isaiah, your line is open.
Hey, Josh, when we talked to you back at Big Ten Media Days, you had talked about how you envisioned things kind of playing out the way that they did, in the sense of playing physical, getting to beat Ohio State, playing for a Big Ten championship. How closely did what's actually transpired actually meet like what you had kind of seen in your head back in the summer?
Man, everything that's happened is how we envisioned it. Not only what I said at Big Ten, but most importantly, how we envisioned it as players, as a team, in real life, on a day-to-day, coming to workouts, grinding it out, coming into like going to January from 2020 and just saying, you know, that wasn't good enough, and attacking it every single day, having a great spring ball, always continuing to get better, and then having an even better camp leading to the season. You know, everything we envision, all the goals as a defense, all the goals as a team we envision, you know, we're accomplishing those, and you know, everything's in front of us, and like now it's, you know what I'm saying, it's just so exciting to be in this opportunity this weekend. We just ready to have a great week of preparation and go get it this weekend.
Up next, we have Miguel Tataje. Miguel, your line is open.
Hey, hi, Josh. As one of the most experienced players on this team, what do you tell your teammates leading up to the most important game of your careers?
You know, I do have a lot of experience, and just the main thing that we emphasize just as players, you know, me, Aiden Hutchinson, David Ajabo, Brad Hawkins, Cade Mcnamara, Hassan Haskins, we just do our job, man. Just do your job and fight for your brothers. We know we all know we got each other's back, and we all know we play for each other. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's obvious. but just about doing our job, executing and preparing the right way through the week leading to the game. That's what we preach, and that's what we're going to continue to do this week.
Next question comes from Rainer Saban, and we may have time for one more question if there's anybody left in the queue.
Hey, Josh, back in the spring, I remember Ambry talking about how he'd heard from you guys that, you guys were going to be able to eat this year. And how much have you heard from those guys on the 2020 squad, like Cam and McMahon and, Quiddy and guys like that, just as you guys have progressed through this season?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I hear it from those guys all the time. And, not only just from the 2020 squad, but 2019, 2018, 17, 16, 15. I've been around this program just, being a part of being a little bro to a Michigan guy, back from 2012 to 2015. And it's, some of my good friends played at Michigan, 8 years ago. And just, having those conversations after getting the job done this weekend, man. Definitely just happy for us, happy for us, proud of us. And everything's in front of us, and all our goals are still in front of us. And we just ready to go attack this week. It's a huge week for us. This means everything, and we just ready to go get it.
Got time for one last question for Josh, and that will come from Angelique.
Josh, we've heard so much this season about everybody changing their focus, the players and obviously the coaching staff being really overhauled. And I was just wondering, when do you think Jim Harbaugh hit the reset button for this season?
The day that the season ended last year, just like all of us. I mean, it was reboot, it was reset, because we knew what the product that was on that field, we knew what was going on wasn't us, and we're better than that. And just even with Coach Harbaugh, with us players, just grinding and attacking every single day, and emphasizing the messages of accountability and of doing our job and of coming to work every day and preparing like no other, man. We've just been at it the past year, and it's led us up to this point, and now we about to push further. So we're excited, we're ready to go, and let's do it.
Well, Josh, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Next on the call is Michigan junior quarterback Cade Mcnamara. We'll give him a moment to be seated, and then we'll take questions for him. Good afternoon, Cade, and thank you for joining us here. If you want to make any opening comments, then we'll go ahead and take questions.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll open it up for questions at this time. As a reminder, just raise your hand in the chat window and we'll call on you and open your microphone. And our first question will come from Miguel Tataje. Miguel, your line is open.
Hey, hi, Cade. Iowa leads the nation in interceptions. What stands out the most to you about their defense, and how you prevent that from becoming a major factor in the game?
Yeah, I think, Iowa's a good defense. They've had success of getting interceptions this season, and, good thing that, the offense that we have here in Michigan, we pride ourselves on not turning the ball over. So I think, this will be for sure a good challenge for us. And, as you mentioned, Iowa is a good defense, and it'll be, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Our next question comes from Lane Higgins. Lane, your line's open.
Hey there, Cade. I was wondering if you could talk to me a little bit what it's like having, kind of a talented understudy in JJ with you, and how you guys have been able to feed off each other this year in practices and also in game situations, just in that, you do kind of have your little specialties when it comes to play calling.
Yeah, JJ's a talented player, and I think, he's done a good job of, making sure that he's prepared for the plays that are set for him in the game plan. And I think, every week we're aware of, the game plan. And I think Coach Gass does a great job of making sure that every player on the offense is, prepared with the game plan and is confident in it. And I think no matter what guy you choose out of the offense, that, I think every single dude is confident and is, they're going to take their job super seriously come game day.
Next up is Chad Leistokow. Chad, your line's open.
Hi, Cade. Thanks for doing this. You guys have been in a lot of close games this year. How do you feel? And so has Iowa, and battle tested, I guess. How do you see that dynamic playing out? How you guys have persevered, I guess. I mean, thinking back to the Penn State game, for example.
Yeah, for sure. I think, that was something that we were confident in going into last week. We knew that, we've been tested this season. We've gone through, basically really just all kinds of different game situations. And that's something that we've prided ourselves on since camp, is being a very sound and good situational football team. And I think, all that work and all the preparation that the coaches have done to get us here is going to make sure that we're ready come Saturday.
Our next question comes from Michael Cohen.
Hey, Cade, I know Mikey Sanders still doesn't necessarily play a starring role every week, but how would you sort of describe the little things that he brings to the offense, whether it's blocking or doing the other dirty work, and then, popping up with timely receptions as well this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I appreciate Mikey, and I know the rest of us do. He's a great dude. Other than just being just an awesome football player, he's a really positive energy in the locker room. And I think what he brings to us as an offense is he's a receiver who's willing to block. He takes pride in blocking on the edge, whether that's a bubble screen or even getting down into the box really on short yardage. And I think he does that extremely well. He takes extreme pride in that. And I think also he does a great job when it comes to man-to-man coverage. He's a guy that you don't have to worry about, getting off the line. His releases are just about as good as I think anyone, especially on our team for that matter. And I think, he's a great player. And, as his role continues to grow, couldn't have more confidence in a dude than Mikey Sanders still.
We'll go to Anthony Broom for our next question. Anthony, your line's open.
Hey, Cade, obviously you've played a lot of football at this point, started a season's worth of games. Have you ever been a part of an offensive line performance where, like Saturday, it looked like those guys didn't miss an assignment at all?
Other than the Washington game, I don't think I've ever seen or been a part of an offense with such a dominant offensive line performance. I think, that's just a testament to the amount of work and the mentality shift that room and that Coach Moore has preached to the rest of those dudes, and just simply the execution level. I mean, these guys are confident in what they can do, and and we're confident as a group that we can follow their lead and that they can drive this offense.
Next question comes from Tom Van Haren.
Hey, Cade, I asked Josh the same question. I was curious your opinion too. You guys as leaders, you've been standing alongside Aiden Hutchinson. Having him back this season, what do you think he's meant to this team, not just on the field and the production, but as a leader and in the locker room? What has he done for the team this year?
Yeah, Aiden is a tremendously influential person on this team. Despite not just having the most, impact on a field that I think a defensive player could have, I think the role that he has on this team is just so important for not just for, just for being a leader, but like helping the other leaders on the team, like me and Josh, just hearing Aiden's opinion as well is, just super important. He's contributed so much to the change and the mentality of this team. And we truly appreciate him, and, especially not just his play, but his leadership as well.
Our next question comes from Bob Winowski. Bob, your line is open.
Yeah, Cade, going back to the offensive line question too, I wonder, when did you guys realize that you could play this way with the offensive line, with the running game, with Haskins? Was there a point where you could see it coming together and you guys knew you could envision this being the way you would play?
I think since the beginning of the year, we've obviously put an emphasis on the type of run game team that we want to be, the level of physicality, the gap schemes, even just the simple, just zones, just coming off the ball. And just really, it's more of, we have plays in our offense that they're called mentality plays, that it's not as much as about the scheme as it is just the level and intensity that we're going to come off the ball with. And I think really the game that we really realized the potential of this group was, I think, Washington. I think, the way we were able to, just manhandle those dudes was, at a level that I don't think, that I for sure have never seen at this level.
We can take one last question for Cade, and we'll go to Aaron Mcmahon for that question.
Cade, you've been a part of a lot of big moments athletically. Where does Saturday's win rank up there? And as a follow-up, how do you forget that game and move forward and prepare for another game this Saturday?
Yeah, I think beating Ohio State is definitely one of, if not the pinnacle of my career. I think just being a part of this team is an honor, and for us to be, to finally get over the hump, I guess you could say, beating Ohio State means so much, not just to me, but to the rest of these guys. And I think, as we continue going into this week of preparation, we're going to watch the film today, and then as soon as today's over, that game is over as well. We'll come back and we'll appreciate that game after the season, but for the time now, we gotta beat the Hawkeyes, and we gotta take home a Big Ten championship, because there's not one dude on this team that has a ring, if definitely not a Big Ten championship ring. So, that was one of our goals that we wanted to achieve this season. Now we just have to go on and achieve the next one.